Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Solving Standard. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Sultai Constrictor. This deck is sweet. This deck made the finals of Grand Prix Memphis last weekend. It is quite the deck. Now, it looks like we're playing against red here, and we are getting Earthshaker Kindred, and we're on the draw, so that's not great. Our opponent mulliganed, so that's a thing, but overall, I would say we're still a little bit on the back foot here, especially given I have to pay some energy to make these Glints of Leaf Siphoners happen. No, this deck's really cool. It's got a lot of really nice synergies going for it. It's a pretty awesome deck all around. You know, we've been abraded. That's actually fine. It gave us some energy, and we're going to continue to have energy, it seems like. And I'm going to go ahead and burn it here on this Jade Light Ranger, because I'd rather pay 2 energy when I have another Ether Hub in hand to get some energy back than I'd rather pay a life against mono red, so... Alright, well, let's hope the Shade Light Ranger hits some land for us. It did, and a Fatal Push. As a matter of fact, that's all pretty good. I like that. Alright, here we go. Now, I like our sideboard against red. We have the very nice Cartouche of Ambition. We've been lightning struck. And this Kindra is doing some work. But now we Fatal Push for it. Alright, so... Again, have options here. I can't actually play another Jade Light... Well, I guess I could play Jade Light Ranger number 2 if I really wanted. I want to play Fetid Pools, though. Get access to some more mana. You know, I guess that does mean we're not doing anything right now, and that's unfortunate. I think it's correct. I mean, we'll take 2 more... Yeah, our opponent's doing pretty well here, to be honest. Our mana base was now we draw. It was just so awkward for us this time around, but I think it'll be okay. I can play Glint Sleeve and Fatal Push and have Blossoming Defense. Is that good? I can pay 1 life and play Hydra. I think that's what I have to do. Our mana was just so awkward in this game. I don't know if we're going to get there. You know, our opponent mulliganed a lot, and I'd say that's very good for us, but this has just been so not how we want this game to play out with our mana base. We have plenty of energy now, I guess, at least in terms of the Ether Hubs. I'm going to Fatal Pushing this Thopter. We're just in a lot of trouble to Hazoret. Interesting. They're just coming in with that. Yeah, no blocks. They know we have this Fatal Push, though. Maybe they wanted me to use it on that. I mean, I'm happy to use it on that. A lot of people don't like to use the removal on something like a token because, oh, a token's, you know, it's not a card, but your removal spell is. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's a 1/1 flyer that will kill you. It's a 2/1 flyer in that circumstance. Donna's Climb's a pretty good one. All right, there's some energy. Now we have 6 mana. Now we're starting to get things rolling here. I think we want a Jade Light Ranger and Hadana's Climb. I actually don't want that, and I suppose I'll take the land. All right, here comes Hadana's Climb. Now, this is one of those games. This card's... Oh, we've been abraded. Oh, and I don't have the energy. Okay, well, it is what it is, I suppose. And we still get to pump this thing big enough to block both of their creatures. Opponent has 2 cards in hand now. You know, oh my gosh, that's... All right, well, this is just starting to feel unlucky. Wow, now our opponent's hand has just been absolutely perfect. While we've struggled here. Now we're very much almost dead. Yeah, that was just... this has all been so unlucky. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. Blooming Marsh, not exactly what we were looking for. I guess the first thing I do is cycle this. All right, Bristling Hydra's pretty good. I think it's better than playing the Siphoner. We will have the mana, unless our opponent immediately lightning strikes it with their last card. All right, we can turn it hexproof. So the thing we have going for us here, and this is very important, and it's sort of unique to this deck and Adonis Climb in particular, is that we're so far behind against red right now. I mean, we're ridiculously far behind, but we have kind of a combo-esque finish here. We have a hexproof creature, we have a thing that can pump this and give it +X/+X. So it's sort of reasonable. Oh, please don't be Hazoret. Oh, Chandra's pretty good against this too. Our opponent's hand was just so good. But I would say it is actually reasonable for us to just get this thing to 10 power and then Adonis Climb it and win. In fact, we're actually pretty close to doing that. All right, well, it looks like we're going to need to because we are going to fall to 4 here, or 2 here. I think I have to block the Earthshaker Kindra. I assume our opponent's coming in with both creatures. Maybe they won't. Yeah. All right, so we have some options here. You know, I would say we want to block this. Yeah, I mean, we just have to block this. All right, down to 2. And this means Chandra kills us. Walking Ballista is pretty good. 1, 4, 7. Can I do it for 3, 4? I don't think I want to do that. What if I spend energy, I make Bristling... Oh, this is so close. I can make Bristling Hydra 6/5. Then I can put a counter on it to make it a 7/6. Then I can make it a 9/8. We're actually literally just... Well, can we still do that? Does that work? Can I then finish him off with Walking Ballista? All right, so if we spend the energy, that makes it a 6. Blossoming Defense makes it an 8. This makes it a 9. Okay, so then we use this 3. I'm going to be 1 short. I could get in for 18. Oh, man. I mean, we're not dead because we get to kill Chandra here, but the thing is I could get in for 18 this turn and then Walking Ballista for 1 and leave our opponent at 1. Let me make sure I'm correct with that. All right, I can make it 6. This makes it 7. This makes it 8, 9. And then that uses these 3, and it leaves us with 3 mana left, and we're 1 mana short of killing our opponent. Well, then in that case, we're still fine in the sense that we're not dead, but it does mean we have to fade a bunch of draws from our opponent to not kill us. They don't kill us with haste creatures thanks to the Walking Ballista. Okay, I messed up. I wanted to put this... oh, whatever. I don't think that's going to matter. All right, 1 time no burn spell from our opponent, I guess. We're dead to a lot off the top of their deck. Walking Ballista is very good here. I mean, this is the thing that means we need our opponent to have, like, basically any creature, including Earthshaker. Basically any creature is good for us. Any Chandra kills us. We even beat Hazoret. So we'll see. No shock, please. That point we had to take off Hashep Oasis earlier comes back and gets this for our opponent draws shock. And our opponent probably has 10 to 15 outs here, but they have some misses as well. So it's, I think, probably better than a coin flip in our favor, but certainly still losable. There you go. This is what makes Magic. This is how you determine the Pro Tour champions right here, right? That's what I always say. Oh, we've been sent a message. Wasn't I dead? Oh. You know what I did? I forgot this. I'm really bad. Do I get punished? Yeah, I went through so many lines and I missed the one right in front of me. All right, we're not dead. I'm not going to get punished. Deserve to get punished, but I'm not going to. Yep, should have done this. I could have pumped it to a 7. And then this makes it a 10. Did I have, and then I jump it? Would I have had enough green sources? That's the question. I could have used, I need 2 green sources for this, so it'd be 1, 2, and then I have 1, 2, yeah, my opponent was definitely dead. Well, there you go, people. Don't forget your Hazoret Oasis. It's very easy to forget about your lands, by the way. It's I took so much into account there and did not take into account the land staring me in the face. So, my opponent was right. I messed up there. But that's Magic, and we did not get punished for it, very fortunately. All right, get the Fatal Pushes in here. Get the Contempt in here. I don't know exactly what we want our deck to look like here. I assume some of this grindy stuff can come out. Do I want any Gear Hold? Because I think 1's probably fine. It makes things big enough to survive Hazoret. And probably cut a Hadana's Climb. I don't know if you're supposed to board in Duresses or what, or if I want the 4th Vraska's Contempt. I'm certainly not an expert on anything in Standard, but especially, you know, the deck I've never played before today versus Mono Red. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel dumb about missing that. I think I don't know if I'm supposed to keep this or not. Kind of think I'm not supposed to keep this hand. Even if it draws a swamp, it's not that great. Whoa, almost killed my mic there. All right, well, learn from my mistakes, everyone. The Hazoret Oasis, by the way, also a combo kill. I'm sure everyone on YouTube was just screaming at their computer and, Corbin, you're so bad. I counted like 17 mistakes you made. Yeah, well, that's life. You're not always going to be great at Magic. Well, that first hand was better than this one, but you have to keep it. There's a land. This hand will be fine with that land. Opponent has no 1-drop. That's good for us. Yeah, I definitely make plenty of mistakes, but you know what? You learn from them. That's the point. Every match I play, I look back at afterwards. You know, I'm not saying I watch Magic Online replays, but when a game ends, whether it's in paper or online, I look at it and say, is there anything I could have done differently there? You know, where did I mess up? Because when you lose a game, a lot of people just say, oh, it's variance or something I could have done. Well, sure, but the truth is most of the time you messed up somewhere and you could have played better. And maybe that would have mattered in the difference in the outcome of the match, and maybe it wouldn't have, but it's something to learn from. That's how you get better at Magic, and it's very difficult to play Magic while talking. That's just sort of a truth. It's just the way it is. I have, you know, success in paper. I've won thousands of dollars playing Magic. I'm certainly not a bad player. I've been very close to the Pro Tour a few times, but mistakes get made even at the Pro Tour. You know, I watched, don't want to throw anyone under the bus here, but I watched a member of Team Genesis who writes for us here at TCGplayer last week in a Standard tournament. And they were playing a really deep, complicated game with a blue-black deck against a mono-red deck, and they had a situation come up that was very weird, and they ended up winning by actually countering a Hazoret and then reanimating it for exactly lethal with Scarab God on the last turn, where they were counting the upkeep scry ability to even get it. But it turns out they actually messed up, and because Scarab God brings it back as a 4/4, not a 5/4, their opponent actually survived. Now, their opponent punted right back by scooping, thinking they were dead, and it wasn't a scummy move. By both players just thought it was a 5/4 and that it was going to kill them, and they didn't realize until several minutes after the match was over. But even with that, then it turns out the blue-black player had an Ether Hub, and they could have just activated Hazoret's ability to finish them off, but they had tapped it. Like, this is the highest levels of players in the world, and there's just these mistakes. They were like 5-6-0 to the GP at this point. It's just mistakes back and forth. Everyone messes up. I mean, you saw it with the Pro Tour Top 8 with the Hazoret. Everyone makes mistakes. And so when people tell me on YouTube that I play badly and make mistakes, you know what? I agree with you. It happens. That's just, it doesn't bother me. It's going to happen. If you play enough Magic, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to play bad. And as long as you work to learn from them and improve, it doesn't really matter. Not to mention, won't lie, just playing for fun here, right? I am playing Magic Online, recording with a deck I've never seen before because people like to watch it, and I really like to provide the content. You know, I'm not trying to go win the Pro Tour with this deck tomorrow, so that also makes it a little easier to accept mistakes. Oh, Cards has expertise, huh? Okay. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Well, we're taking a lot of damage now. I guess I won't be blocking. I'll take 6. That said, I still think I want to draw a card, because drawing cards is better than not drawing cards. And now I get to play Verder's Gearhulk. Can't Karizev's expertise this one, friend. Now, this is actually great. I get to make both of these 3 toughness, which blocks the Earthshaker Kinras. And trades with the back half of the Earthshaker Kinra. I'm not attacking yet, though, because I don't want to get wrecked by, on-crop crasher or whatever. Now, I was hoping to hold this Vraska's Contempt for a Hazoret later, but that's pretty good. I'm not going to use it this turn because I just need to get rid of this thing, but I'm going to crash on in with these guys, I think. I don't think I want to swing with the entire team because, again, we're playing to this Cartouche Ambition next turn. But I am fine if my opponent wants to trade both Kinras for one Glint Sleeve. Attacking for, with both of them means we have 2 energy to draw a card next turn. Yeah, this is absolutely fine with me. We get it. Yes, those will come back later, and yes, that will be a problem. However, I'm hoping it's not going to matter because we're going to have Cartouche of Ambitioned up something and just wrecked our opponent. Most likely this Verder's Gearhulk that is, well, it's a good question, actually. We'll see what our opponent does. The Glint Sleeve can get abraded in response to the Cartouche, but the Verder's Gearhulk they can both get abraded, is the point. The thing is, Verder's Gearhulk only dies to abrade, whereas Siphoner dies to Lightning Strike or any of those things as well. And there is a Hazoret. Baller version of Hazoret even, but this is pretty bad for our opponent if they... this is actually just kind of horrible for our opponent right here. They can't do anything with it. If their best play was to play a Hazoret, that's not great because now we get to go off with this Cartouche of Ambition. I'll go in on my Menace creature. Oh, I didn't make black mana, did I? Oops, rip. Back up a million steps here, sorry. The actual all of them, huh? Okay. Alright, I've done it right now. We're going to Cartouche of Ambition the Menace creature. It's also nice because you get to put a counter on this Hazoret. And while it is still big enough to attack through, I'm hoping it just probably won't matter much because we get a bunch of life here. And now we are in just... honestly, kind of a complete dominating position because we go back up to 15 life. This Glintstooth Siphoner cannot be abraded. It cannot be lightning struck. Our opponent would have to use 2 removal spells to get rid of it. This is just a very, very, very difficult situation for them to climb out of. And I could play another Glint Sleeve here. It would take my energy to do so. That's probably fine. Maybe that's wrong because... basically Glint Sleeve Siphoner with Cartouche on it means we kind of aren't going to lose, so maybe I should just hold up Blossoming Defense to protect it, but, I mean, that actually might be true. Bowmat Courier, though, I don't care much about that. Yeah, this is all very bad for our opponent. I think I'm going to actually activate the Ifnir Deadlands here. Activate as a sorcery only. Put 2 counters on their Hazoret. Now all of a sudden their Hazoret's a 2/1. Yeah, have fun with that. Conveniently drew the land I needed. Yeah, if they're Deadlands to shrink Hazoret, getting rid of this Hazoret of the Fervent, 1/1 counter at a time. Yeah, this is all just really bad for our opponent now. And it still can't even attack or block, but I assume our opponent has spells that will allow it to. I'm going to get in with this too. No reason not to, I think. Because it means if our opponent wants to block it with both of their creatures, we still take the Bowmat Courier out. And we get in for a bunch of damage. I think our opponent has to basically double block the Glint Sleeve here. And then use removal on it, and we have Blossoming Defense. Oh, GG's, they just don't have anything. Yeah, that'll do it too. They needed to be able to double, they needed to use a removal spell on it to get the damage in on it, and then have another spell they can cast to get this to a position to attack or block, then double block the Glint Sleeve. That was just not a good position for our opponent to be in. But there you go. We found, I mean, they could have jump blocked the Gearhulk to not die, but they weren't getting out of that one anyway. So there you go. Didn't play perfectly, but played well enough. A good sideboard with those Cartouche of Ambitions. This is Solving Standard, everyone. Sultai Constrictor 3-0, taking down several good decks in the format, including Mono Red. Thanks for watching, everyone.